Okay, so today I'm going to do a video on tips of how to recover from an eating disorder. Because I've had anorexia, it's probably going to focus more on that, but I guess some of them could help with other eating disorders as well. Okay, so the first thing that I'd say is that you can't recover if you do not want to. Like, you have to get to a point where you want to recover, like even if it's a tiny bit of you, there has to be something that wants to recover, because if anyone tries to push you into it, you're not going to really do it. It's kind of, you've got to want to for it to actually work, and you've got to work with whatever professionals are telling you and just follow all the rules that you get told. Otherwise it just won't work. Yeah, you have to listen to psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors, and whatever they tell you, you have to listen to them and completely give them the complete control, because if you try and do it yourself, usually it's a lot harder to do. Like, you need a lot of support. I found that having my mum controlling everything was the best thing for me, because if I tried to do it by myself, I wouldn't have been able to. So I'm so glad that I had my mum to control all my meals, everything, like count everything that I had to make sure I was having enough, and to weigh me every week. She weighed me once or twice a week, it depends on how she thought I was doing. So she used to weigh me at like once or twice a week to make sure that I was keeping on track, and I think that's so much better if you have someone that's completely dedicated to helping you. I know a lot of people don't have that, so that's probably where hospital would be a better treatment for them. But if you've got support at home, I think definitely recovering at home is the best, because as soon as you come out of hospital, it's just going to be the same thing again. You're going to have to go through learning how to live your life, because you'll be so used to being in the hospital and letting all of those people help you and control what you're doing, and then as soon as you come out, it's just going to be the same again. So it's probably best to do it at home and learn how to recover at home, because that's where you're going to lead your life, like that's where you're going to live, so you're going to have to be able to do it at home. I also found that at the start of recovery, to write down everything that I ate so that people could see, and I could see on paper what I'm actually eating, so like nutritionists could see, and work out what I need to do to increase what I'm eating and make sure I'm getting all the nutrients and everything so that I'm gaining weight in the right way. I found that really helpful as well, because that allowed me and the professionals to work out what I need to do to get better and to increase my meal plans so that it would help me put on weight and all of that. I found that really helpful as well. Another thing I found really helpful was making a vision board, which is just behind me. I will show you it right now. On my vision board, I put all of the things I want to do in life, so where I want to travel, like who I want to meet. Like, I really want to go to the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam, so this year I'm going to go there and hopefully see it, so that's one of my goals. And I just put all of my goals on there. Like, I wanted a kitten, and so I put a kitten on there, and I actually managed to get a kitten, which was really good. And just pretty much anything that would inspire me to get better, so that I had it all on one board and I had something to focus on, because I think you definitely, when you're that down and you're in such a deep, dark place, you need something to focus on. So I found that making a vision board was really, really helpful, and I think that anyone who would be able to do that it's a really good thing that helps. It just gives you so much inspiration, and whenever you're feeling down, you can look at it. Like, I have quotes and stuff on mine, so that if I'm feeling down or struggling or whatever, I can just look at it and it really inspires me to keep going. I know that a lot of people have heard of like pro-ana accounts and horrible accounts like that, which are just absolutely disgusting. I don't think they should be allowed on the internet. But I found that Instagram really helped me recover, because there were so many positive accounts that I found on there and I've met and have really, really helped me recover, because they're so inspiring, and it's so nice to meet people who are going through a similar thing to you. so that you can talk about it and get help and like help each other and support each other and realise that you're not alone and that you have people there to help you, and to just see people living their lives and getting past their eating disorders. Like, I know it will never go away, but to see people controlling it and living their lives, I found that really inspired me and made me want to be one of those kind of people that inspire others to get better, because there's just so much more to life than eating disorders. Like, there's so much more. Like, it's so ridiculous when you realise how much more to life there is. You just don't want it anymore. It's not like you can just choose to get rid of it, but you want to do everything that you can to get better, because it's just horrible. Another thing that helped me recover was getting a book and writing down all the negative thoughts that I had, and then bringing it to my nurses that were helping me at the time, a charity, and we went through the different thoughts and worked out which ones were the eating disorder thoughts and which ones were the Caitlin thoughts, because the eating disorder changes your thoughts and you think it's you thinking it, so you blame yourself, but it's not actually you. So it's like you've got to work out which one it is so that you can change those thoughts and you can fight those thoughts back and realise that those thoughts aren't you and you don't need those thoughts in your life, because you're so much better and so much more worthy than those thoughts. If you have an eating disorder, or you think you have an eating disorder but you haven't had help for it yet, definitely you need to tell someone. You need to, if it's your mum or your dad or your carer or your cousin or anyone that you can trust, like a teacher or a friend, you really should tell them, because it's, even though it's so hard and you think that everyone will just hate you or think that you're being stupid, you need to tell someone, because it's such a horrible illness, and if you can't tell anybody, then you're just gonna end up in such a worse place. So even though you might not be confident enough to tell them, you could write them a letter or email them or text them or something, because you really do need to get help. And just telling them is the first step. Like, recovering is not easy, and you need to understand that it's not something that just gets better overnight. It can take a long time, but you just have to keep pursuing with it, and eventually you've realised that it's so worth it. It's just so much better than living your life like constantly in hospitals and constantly just worrying about stupid things like food and calories, and eventually you realise that there's so much more to life. And if you think you have an eating disorder or anything like that, you need to tell someone so that you can get the right help that you deserve. Okay, so I hope that helped you in some way, and I gave you some ideas for recovering, but I'm not a professional, so you don't have to listen to that or anything like that. It's not like I'm a professional and I can tell you what to do or the right things, but things like that will hopefully help. So, bye!